On Osrc News at 7, Ayedatiwa charts new course, unveils vision for Ondo's next 50 years. Ondo government acts on Ifelodo erosion crisis, pledges support. Federal government arraigns 9 suspects over Yelwata killings. And from the foreign scene, Pakistani security forces kill scores after militant attacks in Balochistan. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on Osrc News at 7. My name is Odunayo Sawyer. We apologize for coming up a bit behind schedule, and we begin with activities marking the 50th anniversary of Ondo State, and the governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa, has described the state's 50th anniversary as a powerful testament to its people's vision, resilience, and shared sacrifices. Speaking at a public lecture titled Ondo State, Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow, to mark the Golden Jubilee, he noted that yesterday offers lessons, today demands diligence, and tomorrow calls for courage and imagination. The governor portrayed the event as an intellectual, reflective, and visionary moment, representing a deliberate pause for Ondo State's people to assess their journey, confront current realities with honesty, and boldly shape a future for generations to come. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole has details.
Akure's International Culture and Events Center, the Dome, buzzed with prominence as dignitaries from far and near, led by Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa, converged for a public lecture celebrating Ondo State's Golden Jubilee. In welcoming dignitaries, Secretary to the Ondo State Government and Chairman of the Anniversary Planning Committee, Taiwo Fashoranti, described the public lecture as an opportunity to deepen understanding of the state's journey thus far.
I know that we will sit back, we'll enjoy the lecture, and take 1 or 2 things with us as we leave this hall. We pray that in the next 20 years, the next 30 years, the next 40 years, Ondo State will continue to shine as it is the Sunshine State.
A legal luminary serving as chairman for the occasion, Wole Olanipekun, stressed the importance of honoring Ondo State's founding fathers for their dedication, vision, and resilience in creating the state. He warned that the efforts of heroes past and present leaders must not go to waste, and applauded Governor Ayedatiwa's strides in promoting and sustaining growth, urging him to keep raising the bar.
The next 50 years will be rendering stories of the 50 years that you are leading us to start today. We'll be in the searchlight back and say who was governor when Ondo State was 50, and your name will be recalling. You know, good people don't die because their deeds live after them. I want to plead with you. As your brother, as your ego, let me put it that way. And as a senior citizen of this country, by the grace of God, it's a chance we are giving you. Lead us on and follow you.
Wole Olanipekun rallied more support for President Tinubu's administration in his drive to improve Nigeria. He took a trip down memory lane, recounting how Ondo State became an oil-producing state, crediting the late governor Bamidele Olumilua, himself, and former governor Olusegun Mimiko. Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa declared that 50 years is a milestone and a mirror reflecting the state's collective choices, sacrifices, and outcomes. He said it challenges Ondo State and its people to shape the next era with wisdom and courage. The governor highlighted how the state rose as a hub of agrarian productivity, trade, and artisanal enterprise to cocoa, oil palm, timber, fishing, and commerce, which has formed the economic backbone. Ayedatiwa stated that the public lecture must go beyond academic discourse to spark action, partnership, and accountability. He called for responsibly harnessing natural and human resources, deliberate investment in youth, preservation of moral and cultural foundations, and building lasting collaborations among government, the private sector, civil society, and the global community.
50 years on,
Ondo State stands transformed, not without challenges, but with remarkable progress and renewed confidence. Our economy is steadily transitioning from primary production to value addition and industrial processing. Flagship initiatives such as the Sunshine Free Trade Zone, the Golden Ceramics Industrial Plant, and the Ethanol and Methanol Plant in Ore, the Ondo Deep Sea Port, refinery to produce 500,000 barrels per day, and others underscore our commitment to job creation, investors' confidence, and industrial diversification. Tourism is also being deliberately repositioned as a growth driver through the development of our coastline, ecotourism assets, and the rich cultural heritage, creating new opportunities for local enterprise and community participation.
Aiyedatiwa stressed that tomorrow calls for courage and imagination.
Our vision is bold, inclusive, and ethically anchored. With vision and Ondo State, where economic prosperity is broad-based and sustainable, where education produces innovators, ethical leaders, and problem solvers, where infrastructure supports growth, inclusion, and environmental stewardship, where governance remains responsive, transparent, and accountable.
The governor concluded by saying the numerous values of the state became the indivisible foundation upon which social and governance rested. From the International Culture Invested at the Dome in Akure, Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, Ondo State's 58th anniversary spotlighted reflection on its past, assessment of the present, and bold plans for the future. Guest lecturer and chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Taiwo Oyedele, who traced the state's journey from inception to future goals, unveiled a long-term vision titled Our Purpose Reimagined Agenda 2076. We hope to bring you that report in the course of the bulletin, but at this point, we'll take a short break. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ilẹ̀ ibi agbébí ni tàbí tá a fi ṣe bí ìjòkó jẹ́bi tó yẹ ká máa gbé lárugẹ. Nítorí ẹ̀ la ṣe wá ń pè yín. Kí ẹ jẹ́ àjọ celebrate ká jubilate ká dẹ̀ congratulate ara wa. Títí ayẹyẹ 50 ọdún ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo léyìí tó fẹ́ wáyé yìí. Èyí iléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá àti iléeṣẹ́ kéréje. Oníṣòwò oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́ ilé ìwé ilé ìjọsìn. Gbogbo union clubs associations ẹ̀yin ọba ẹ̀yin ìjòyè. Àti gbogbo ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo àtẹ̀yìn tẹ́ fi bẹ̀ ṣe bí ìjòkó. Ó yá ẹ jẹ́ àjọ kíra wa. Ká kí gómìnà, ká kí igbákejì, ká kí sínétọ̀, ká kí ẹ̀mẹ́sà rẹ̀ ẹ̀mẹ́sẹ̀. Àti gbogbo àwọn tó di ipò pàtàkì mú. Ká pè wọ́n ká kí wọn. OSRC television Orange 94.5 FM àti 96.5 FM alálàyé. Owó díẹ̀ la ó gbà lọ́wọ́ yín o. Torí àjọ ń ṣe ayẹyẹ náà ni. Ìgbìmọ̀ iléeṣẹ́ OSRC Media Group ló ń pè wá. Àmàkù àṣeyẹ 50 ọdún o típínlẹ̀ Ondo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀.
Kò síbi tí mo wà tí mo jẹ́ gbàgbé o. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ti wá ní o.
Politics you can trust.
You're welcome back. You can watch us live on our digital channel Moreplex 720 on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel on Osrc TV Ondo. Away from activities marking the 50th anniversary of Ondo State, and hope is rising for residents of Ifelodun community in Akure South local government area of Ondo State, as the state government has commenced concrete steps to address the devastating effects of erosion in the area. Special Assistant to the Governor on Technical Erosion Control and Flood Management, Elisha Ebijimi, led a team on an on-the-spot assessment of the community, inspecting affected zones and engaging directly with residents over the recurring environmental challenge. Omoriola Ungbeji has details.
Every rainfall brings painful memories of loss to residents of Ifelodun community in Akure South local government, as overflowing waterways continue to wash away property and threatening lives. The visits of government officials on flood control raised the hope of the residents as they narrated their ordeal whenever it rains.
This place, as you see it, you can see life is funny. You see, this place is very dry. The water will be so full that, you know, you won't be able to pass through this place at all.
Tómi yẹn bá ti ká wa mọ́lé báyìí, a ní lè lọ síbi iṣẹ́. A máa fo orí fẹ́ǹsì ni. Lọ́dọ̀ mi bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn báyìí nígbà tí wọ́n ti ṣe tọ̀dọ̀ bàbá yẹn, orí fẹ́ǹsì yẹn la máa gbà jáde. Tí ò ní sí ọ̀nà tá a máa gbà wọlé rárá, ọjọ́ mẹ́ta ọjọ́ mẹ́rin sì lè wà bẹ́ẹ̀. Kó máa ṣàn lọ.
They expressed optimism that the government's intervention will bring lasting relief and restore safety to the community. Chairman Landlords Association Mr. Stephen Olumilola disclosed that the community had written appeal letters to successive administrations over the years but yielded little response until now.
This administration, now that they have listened to our cry to come and rescue us, we are expecting them that they will come to our aid and do the needful, help us bring the amphibious excavator, we call it swamp boogie, to come and channelize this place and make it make the waterway wide, so that it will be able to, water can run freely from it, so that this place will not be flooded again.
During the on-site inspection, the Special Assistant on Technical Erosion Control and Flood Management, Mr. Elisha Ebijimi, assured residents of the state government's commitment to tackling the environmental challenges and preventing further loss of lives and property. According to him, Ondo State was able to curtail food disaster in the previous year as measures were taken earlier in line with the directive of Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa, hence the decision of the visit.
Our East Governor, Honorable Dr. Lucky Ayedatiwa, he always keep his promise, and if we promise people, and we are going to fulfill our promise. And the good people of Ifelodun LCD community, I give them 100% assurance that I'm going to attend to this community. All Ondo State community is my community.
In appreciation to the visit and recognition of his swift response to the call, the Ifeolodun Landlords Association honored the governor's aide with an award of excellence and performance of duty. Omoriola Hungbiji, Osrc News.
In other news, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has announced that persons with disabilities will receive free application documents for the 2026-2027 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME. As done in previous years, the board said the free application documents would be processed through the JAM Equal Opportunity Group for eligible candidates with disabilities who intend to sit the examination. JAM Registrar Ishak Oloyede reiterated the board's commitment to the welfare of persons with disabilities. According to Oloyede, beneficiaries of the scheme include persons living with conditions such as Down syndrome, autism, dyslexia, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, as part of efforts to ensure equal access to education. The National Industrial Court, presided over by Justice Emmanuel Sabelim, has issued an interim order restraining the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC), the Trade Union Congress (TUC), and 3 others from embarking on any form of strike or protest. The order followed an ex parte application filed by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and the FCT administration seeking to halt planned industrial action pending the hearing of a motion on notice. Justice Sabelim directed the respondents and their agents to refrain from any strike action, while also ordering security agencies listed as the 5th two-night defendants to ensure there is no breakdown of law and order. Counsel to Wiki and the FCTA, Ogu Onoja, told the court that labor unions had mobilized members for a mass protest scheduled for February 3 despite an earlier court order. The court adjourned the matter to February 10 for hearing amid claims that the union's actions could lead to a breakdown of law and order in the nation's capital. And the federal government has arraigned 9 persons over their alleged involvement in the terrorist attacks that resulted in the deaths of over 200 persons in Yelwata community in Benue State last June. The 9 defendants were arraigned before Justice Joyce Abdulmalik of the Federal High Court Abuja on a 57-count amended charge bordering on terrorism. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi is leading the prosecution to demonstrate the seriousness the government has attached to the trial. The defendants were in the charge alleged to have carried out an attack on June 13, 2025, where many houses were burnt down and about 150 people were massacred, while others sustained various degrees of injuries. And we take another break. Osrc News at 7. We'll be back.
Voice you can trust.
On the foreign scene, the Syrian government is preparing to enter Kurdish-controlled areas in the northeast following an agreement with the Syrian Democratic Forces (SDF) to integrate its fighters into the army. Under the deal, the SDF will remain in place while the state assumes control of territory, borders, and detention facilities holding ISIL fighters and their families. Residents expressed mixed feelings, and some hope for peace and stability, while Kurds fear what the government's presence will mean. Thousands of ISIL detainees remain in Syrian prisons, with the U.S. transferring only a few hundred to Iraq so far. Adirunke Kolawole has details.
An agreement was announced last Friday for the SDF to integrate its forces into the Syrian military. They will remain in their areas, but the Syrian state will be in control of that territory, the international border, and detention facilities where some ISIL fighters and their families have been kept. The visit to northeastern Syria aims to observe the situation firsthand, while expectations remain high over how the agreement will be enforced. In the city of Ashadabi, Omar says her husband was detained by Kurdish forces.
He is 70 years old and they accused him of having a bomb and they took him. That is a lie.
Many here are hoping that Syria will recover after years of conflict.
I want to see my country and my people together, from all groups. I hope this area will get the attention it needs.
Among the Kurds, there are fears about what the presence of the Syrian government will mean for them. Not far away, the prisons which was previously controlled by the SDF is empty. Thousands of ISIL fighters are currently detained in at least 2 other prisons in Syria. The US says it will transfer some of them to Iraq, but for now, only a few hundred have been taken across the border. Syria is struggling to recover after decades of Assad rules and years of war. For the government, this means giving all Syrian security and assurance that their rights won't be ignored. Adirunke Kolawole, Osrc News.
And in another development, Pakistani security forces have killed 145 militants in a 40-hour battle after coordinated gun and bomb attacks across Balochistan left nearly 50 people dead. Authorities in Balistan are battling one of the deadliest flare-up in years. Pakistan's junior interior minister, Talal Chari, said the attackers were dressed as ordinary civilians and had opened fire inside hospitals, schools, banks, and markets. Kemsola Ajomu has details.
Pakistani security forces have killed 145 militants in a 40-hour battle, the chief minister of Balochistan said on Sunday. That is after a coordinated gun and bomb attack across the province the day before. Safabaki told a news conference that nearly 50 law enforcement personnel and civilians were killed in the militant attacks on Saturday. He said intelligence reports had indicated that this kind of operation was being planned and what he called pre-operations had started the day before. Authorities in Balochistan are battling one of the deadliest flare-up in years. Insurgents is a resource-rich province bordering Iran and Afghanistan have stepped up assaults on security forces, civilians and infrastructure. Pakistan's junior interior minister Talal Chari said Saturday's attackers were dressed as ordinary civilians and opened fire inside hospitals, schools, banks and markets. Balochistan is Pakistan's largest and poorest province. It has faced a decade-long insurgency led by ethnic Baloch separatists. They are seeking greater autonomy and a larger share of the province's natural resources. The banned Baloch Liberation Army claimed responsibility for Saturday's attacks. It said it has launched an Operation Doubled Black Storm targeting security forces across the province. The group claimed to have killed 84 members of Pakistan's security forces and captured 18 others. Pakistan's military did not immediately respond to requests for comment. It said on Saturday the attacks were carried out by Indian-sponsored militants. India and Pakistan's neighboring arch-rival denied that assertion on Sunday, accusing Islamabad of deflecting attention from its own internal problems. Kemisola Ojom, OSRC News.
On the report, we end the OSRC News at 7. But before we go, another look at the major stories. Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has urged citizens to embrace courage, diligence, and imagination as the state enters its next 50 years. Residents of Ifelodun community in Akure South local government area of Ondo State have expressed renewed hope as the state government steps up efforts to address persistent erosion and flooding challenges in the area. We told you that the federal government has arraigned 9 suspects before the Federal High Court over the deadly Yelwata terror attack that claimed over 200 lives. And from the foreign scene, we informed you that Pakistani security forces have killed scores of militants following attacks in Balochistan. And that's it on the news. Thank you so much for watching. Good evening.